Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. And today's subject is actually going to be kind of short and kind of concise and very, very specific. Because I have a whole bunch of shoots, a whole bunch of places I'm going to be on set. I'm doing a friend's short action related short film. I think it's kind of like a proof of concept. I'm not doing any of the fighting. Not going to really get to say what happens in it. But that's going to be tomorrow and the day after, which is Friday and Saturday. So I need to get this done now. And then come Sunday, my agent got me some extra work, doing extra stuff in the background. And after that, basically it just keeps coming. Like there's just more stuff, just endless stuff. It's been very, very busy. Also, there's been a lot of people that have come to me for demo writing, for coaching, demo production, all kinds of stuff. And it is a huge boom in my business, and I love working with all these people. It's absolutely great. It's been a treat to be approached by so many people. Pretty much emails every single day of people asking for help, wanting my help, saying that they've seen my channels and see my videos, see my channel, and that they're interested in working with me. And that's great. And I love every single one of you guys. And I hope that I've been helpful and stuff like that. And I may do, if I can get permission from the people that I have done demos for, I may do kind of like a best of and kind of like small segments to each one of these people's demos, kind of put in one sample of the work that I've done for people making their demos. And then, of course, have links to all their stuff and all that kind of stuff. Make sure to credit them, and it's not going to be monetized or anything like that. But anyway, today's subject, I actually wanted to talk about something that I've been covering with a lot of people in a lot of my coaching sessions. Some people that don't know the value of social media, how to use it, especially for your business. And I think I've kind of covered it. I definitely covered it in a video talking about Twitter for the most part, but I don't really think that I've covered pretty much all the different social media that I have and how I use them. Now, yes, social media is for connecting, but each platform, at least for me, I use very differently. Now, I do know a whole bunch of voice actors that basically each social media platform is basically copy and paste. They post the exact same stuff in every single one of them, and that's fine. You can do that. For me, to make it easier for me so that I know that each one has its own value, and so that I'm not just basically wasting anyone's time if they go from one social media to another or to this YouTube channel. The way I use each one is very specific. Now, of course, we're definitely talking about professional, business-related social media rather than personal business or personal social media, which do not put your personal on your business. Do not do that. Keep super personal stuff super personal, unless it is related to your business. Or if it is something that, may keep you away from doing your job for a while, like a loss in the family or loss of a pet. There's a lot of voice actors that have pets and they've lost them. I post, when my cat passed away, and all that kind of stuff. I think that's fine, but don't be putting too much personal stuff on there. To the point that you're basically burying your actual work-related and business-related content. People shouldn't have to scroll for a while in order to get to more of the stuff that's relevant to your business. You want to make sure that the majority of it is business-related on some level. Now, of course, social media is intended to connect with people and to be kind of fun. It should be fun. It used to be fun, but that's kind of the goal. So what I do is each one has its own function. For me, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and then obviously YouTube. I don't really have many others. I don't have Snapchat. I don't have TikTok. I don't have those. But and each one of the ways that I use each one can be applied to any of them. you can use them differently. Each platform basically has a lot of the same functions. You can leave comments, you can leave videos and stills and all this kind of stuff. Pretty much, they're all very, very similar, but should be used differently, in my opinion. So when it comes to Instagram, Instagram is where I post kind of the fun behind the scenes, pictures and photos of kind of, studio upgrades, or whenever I go on business trips and I see something interesting, or, a new microphone, or, new behind the scenes or clips or something like that. Kind of the fun behind the scenes stills of my life that's still technically related to my business, but it's a lot more of not the actual work part. It's kind of the other stuff. Now, of course, as an artist, I also put art up there as well. That's kind of the main thing that I do with Instagram. Not as so much lately, because I really have not had time to do any storyboards or animation or drawing, really at all. But that's kind of what I do. It's kind of the behind the scenes. It's kind of just the snippets, the fun stuff. It's not the slog kind of grind, I guess. YouTube is a little bit more of the behind-the-scenes grind-related stuff. That's the majority of what I use my YouTube channel for nowadays. Is a lot of vlogs. Is a lot of me opening up and sharing the business side of work. Now, of course, I do also post a lot more fun content. I post a lot of my demos and dramas or any kind of like fan dubs and stuff like that. I obviously post a lot of that stuff, but the main focus of YouTube rather than Instagram. So Instagram has videos as well. I do post videos, but they're always very, very short, and they're always very low quality. YouTube is where I post long form stuff, the podcasts, the talking head, the explainer videos, the helping stuff, the coaching, long form things. If it's long form and it's a little bit it's way more in depth into kind of like the less fun side of it, the business talk, that's what I'm using YouTube for. Now, of course, I also share my samples and my demos, and that is also incredibly relevant because YouTube has higher quality video output and streaming, obviously. So that's a better place to host that kind of stuff. Now, if it's shorter stuff like your demos pretty much need to be on everything, pretty much, have some kind of visual attached to your audio of your demo, and pretty much needs to be on all your platforms. There's really no reason that it can't. Twitter can do that, Instagram can do that, YouTube can do that, all of them can do that. So there's really no reason that you can't do that. But that's kind of the difference between Instagram and YouTube. Now, Twitter is where I connect with people. I try to get my name out there and try to gather as many names as possible. Not on a business side, more on the social connecting, networking side. That's kind of what Twitter is. Twitter is you trying to find people that may or may not end up hosting or creating content or hosting auditions later down the line. That's kind of the goal of Twitter. Now, of course, yes, it is also to find auditions. You can do the hashtags, casting call, anything like that. And yeah, you can find auditions through Twitter, and that's another great function of Twitter, which you can't really do on Instagram or YouTube all that much. Very rarely will you ever see anybody post anything like that. It's almost always going to be on on Twitter. As far as like casting calls, if it's not going to be on a platform that's a voiceover platform, which we're not talking about right now. We're not talking about castingcall.club, voices 123, voice one, whatever. We're not talking about any of those. We're just talking about social media. So demos are on all of them, but I use them very differently. One of them is to actually make connections. The other ones are not really to make connections. I'm not looking to really have a dialogue through Instagram or YouTube. Yes, I will reply to comments. I do love engagement, but it's not really to have endless back and forth dialogue. That is a little bit more acceptable on Twitter, especially considering there's a limit to how long you can leave a message, which makes it so much easier. Mostly just for me, because I will absolutely keep going. I mean, if you guys think that my stream of consciousness stuff is me talking endlessly, very quickly, then dude, have you read any of my texts? I will go. I will absolutely go. I think the longest reply I don't know how many words it was, but I think it took me 2 hours to write the reply. And it was very detailed. It was a debate. It was absolutely a debate. And I refused to let it go. I won. I mean, it's not like winning a debate in social media means anything. So there's no pride in it. It's like beating a mentally handicapped puppy. Like, who cares? Don't be proud of yourself. There's no point in that. But yeah, so Twitter is for connecting a little bit more on a social level. You're not really putting out content on Twitter. You can obviously share links and content on Twitter, but you're not posting stuff like that on Twitter. That's for the connecting. You're trying to make connections, not friends. You're making connections. You can make friends. I have made friends. I've made tons of friends. But connections is the goal. You want to make, connections with people that will bring you work. And, you can bring them work. And that's the connection. That's the joining tissue. Now, obviously, I'm posting this video at a time when there's kind of this up and down with a new app called Threads, which I was actually going to try, kind of. But the day I was thinking about downloading it, it got wildly negative reviews. And everyone that I knew who had hopped onto it returned to Twitter and said that it was terrible and it was a dumpster fire. So I'm probably not going to touch that one. But I would imagine, due to the fact that it's basically a copy and paste of Twitter, that it would basically work exactly the same. That if you were to have Thread instead of Twitter, that basically you'd use it the same. You'd use it exactly the same. That's how I'd imagine. Now, as far as Facebook and LinkedIn, which are two other social media, but they feel a little bit more professional. And not in the sense of like the structure of the platform is professional or the kind of work that you can get through them is professional. It's just kind of the way you go about it, or at least the way I go about it. So the people that are normally on Facebook are much older demographics. They're not, 6-second, in and out, quick, dumb video kind of people. It's a lot more... Nowadays, it's a lot more people selling stuff. Like if you actually have a physical location for your studio that you can actually rent out, it would be a really good idea to have a page for that on Facebook. And then you could actually run ads for your actual location, for your actual physical location on Facebook. That's something that you can't really do on the other platforms. You can't really do that on Instagram. You can obviously run ads and you can run promos and, all that kind of stuff, but you can actually have like an actual page dedicated to a physical location with all the content, stills and references and any possible links that's related to it on Facebook better than you can the others. That's how I would use that. If you don't really have a studio that you're renting out, it's not really important. It's not necessary. For the most part, the rest of Facebook is mostly just keeping up with family and really close friends from way on back. But other than that, that's kind of how I use it. LinkedIn, however, for those who actually still use LinkedIn, is that still alive? I know that I still have LinkedIn. But LinkedIn is... So this generation, this current modern generation is not really a soliciting kind of demographic. You don't really make phone calls or do cold calls and cold emailing as much as you used to. Nowadays, pretty much anyone younger than me, I'm 35, pretty much anyone younger than me that runs a business, a small content or small independent game company or anything like that, they're not really the kind of approachable type. They're mostly the kind of people, and this isn't a slam on them. This is just kind of how we've adapted and adjusted as kind of a society and culture. Most of them are kind of texting before calling kind of thing. And so any kind of unsolicited phone calls, any kind of unsolicited emails, if it is a small business, not a large business, is pretty much a waste of your time now. LinkedIn is literally intended to solicit. It's basically we're looking for employees. We have a job posting. Here it is. Send us your demos and your samples and your resume. That's pretty much what LinkedIn is. If you want to do any cold calling, cold emailing, or making actual official connections, LinkedIn is that platform. If you want to find companies that have emails and phone numbers where you can contact them, that would be through LinkedIn. Not just going on Google, Googling any company, and then, emailing what the first email that you can find. No. That doesn't help you. LinkedIn, often the contact information that's there is intended for people to send in resumes, to post, to apply to jobs, stuff like that. That's what LinkedIn's for. And then LinkedIn is going to be, you don't post really anything that's like fun unless it's super business related, like you're at a convention or something like that. Most of it is going to be actual demo and sample and resume related stuff. So your video samples, your video resume, your video, demo or whatever, all of that kind of stuff is going to be on LinkedIn. It's a much more professional website. Again, don't use every single one of these exactly the same. Try to diversify. And when it comes to your official website, your official voiceover website, that's going to be a central hub that all of your other websites are generally going to be linked to. So you will have a link to your Twitter, your link to your Instagram, a link to your, LinkedIn, a link to your Facebook. As long as it's relevant to your business, you'll have a link to it. And the thing about this is what I generally advise for people to do is to have a single website when they're professionally ready to actually present this on a wider scale, and have links to everything and samples and all the kind of stuff in your website as a central hub, and then have a QR code that's on hand, probably on your phone or something like that, that you can basically hand out as your business card. And then whatever kind of social media that the client has or client prefers going to, or any kind or whatever platform has the content that they would be most interested in, that's where they'll go. But that way you're also sending them to one central website that's very professional, and then letting them go to where they feel like more information would be needed. And if you were to just like send someone your Twitter, and maybe it's someone who doesn't have Twitter or doesn't use Twitter, doesn't like Twitter, and you're limiting them to where they can find you, it's not a good look. And yes, I know that that's probably why a lot of people kind of copy and paste everything on various different social media, but that's also what your main website is for. All of your relevant stuff is also going to be there. That's where you'd be copying and pasting pretty much everything professionally. And again, this is all about your professional use social media. This is not your personal. This is just about your business. You can do whatever the hell you want on your personal. Like, go crazy. I don't care. Live your life. But when it comes to your professional, that's how I recommend. Also, it makes it easier for you when you're posting stuff, if you have each social media platform have its own function and use. So that way, once you have something to upload, you know where it goes, instead of having to take more time uploading it to every single one, copy and paste in their unique whatever format or font or whatever, re-upload videos in different sizes and ratios or whatever. It's easier if you know that, okay, this is the platform that I upload video, this is the platform that I upload stills, this is the platform where I upload just, text commentary, this is the platform that I put long form, this is the platform where I post my resume, all the kind of stuff. Now you know where you post everything. And yes, you can have a little bit of bleed over. I'm not saying completely segregate every single one of your social media platforms. You can have a little bit of bleed over, obviously. But knowing which one is for which thing will help you out a lot. Because you don't want to be posting stuff on a social media that's actually just going to be taking up space that the platform is generally not going to be interested in. Is just not going to work well, not going to function well on that platform. People on Twitter want, information fast. They want to scroll and keep going. It's kind of the same thing with Instagram, but Instagram isn't intended for text. It's meant for video and stills, and they want to keep scrolling. YouTube is not really for small content, even though YouTube does have like the shorts and stuff like that. And they're kind of trying to like push that. You want a place where you can have larger examples, higher quality samples of your work. That's the function of YouTube. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much going to be it. Again, this is how I use it. This is how I use social media. That's what I advise. You don't have to do anything that I say. Are you kidding me? At no point in time have you opted in to do everything that I advise. You know, do whatever you want. But that's how I do it. That's how I operate. That's how I function. And it's easier for me. Before, I got really, really frustrated trying to post everything on everything and wondering why most of the stuff was not successful. And that was because I just posting the wrong thing on the wrong platform. And now I waste significantly less time, worry significantly less, and have a little bit more fun doing it, too. Also, if you're not comfortable with social media, this is going to be a very hard career to get into, especially on the independent side. Now, of course, if you have been doing acting for many, many years, you already have a really good agent, representation all over the place, and then you wanted to also get into voiceover, obviously it's going to be easier for you without social media because your agent and your manager is going to be doing a lot of that work for you. But if you're getting into this on the independent side, it's going to be very, very hard, almost impossible to get any sort of traction in your business outside of the pay-to-play websites. So, for those who hate social media, I'm just saying, it's going to be rough. I hate social media too, but there's a right and a wrong way of using it. It's like family. They have their place. But anyway, that's going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Totally fine. Subscribe if you're new, bell for notifications, and leave down in the comment section below. Like to see me cover any other topics. And yeah, I hope this helped you out. And if it did, let me know. And my email for coaching and demo production, anything like that, is also down below. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next time. Peace.